If you have been on any diet, then you probably have experienced this concept of foods that you can and cannot eat. Those that are on the red list or the green list, those that have points assigned to them or considered a free food. Does that sound familiar at all to you? Well, that is not what this video is about. Instead of telling you good foods versus bad foods, I'm going to share with you a different approach. Food on a spectrum, and how can we get a good balance of whole foods and processed foods in your life. Hey friends, I'm Christina. I'm a nutrition coach, and on this channel, I talk about lean eating skills and behavior change while keeping plenty of fun in life. A lot of times when it comes to our nutrition and health, we tend to think in terms of black or white, good or bad, and all or nothing. Some examples might be, well, I ate like trash today, guess I'll try again tomorrow. Or, I was so bad this weekend, I have to be better next week. Or, I am going to do insert fad diet or juice cleanse before we go on vacation next month. Have you thought this way about your nutrition before? You are definitely not alone. And I've probably said all of these things at one point in my life or another. This type of thinking can get us into trouble by not only removing the joys that eating can bring, but also negatively affecting our relationship with food. Food is meant to be enjoyed, savored, and shared with loved ones. Some of my favorite memories in life have been made around a dinner table. Unfortunately, when we take on this dichotomous thinking about food being good or bad, meal times can be a source of stress and guilt instead. When we demonize certain foods, eliminate or restrict them, it can lead to overeating those same foods later on. As with many things in life, there are gray areas when it comes to the foods we eat. Food is not a moral issue. Eating all whole foods doesn't make you a better person. Eating fast food doesn't make you evil either. Is that true for you? Do you find yourself gauging your self-worth based on how you eat during the day? If so, this can not only be a distraction from things that really matter, but it can prevent you from learning the eating skills necessary to practice a way of eating that is sustainable and effective. If you've struggled with this type of thinking, just remember, we weren't born with this type of thinking, so we can definitely unlearn it. Food provides energy and nutrients. It helps us feel great and gives us energy to work out or play with our kids. There are certain foods that are more nutritious, while others might be tasty but less nutritious. Instead of seeing food as either good or bad, I like to think of food in terms of being on a spectrum. On one side is food in its original whole food form. On the other side, it's a processed version. Which side does your food typically land? Can we get most of our daily intake of food closer to the whole food side? Notice I didn't say all. It is really common in the health and fitness realm to adopt the all or nothing mindset. It isn't even a conscious decision most of the time. All or nothing is also known as seeing things in black and white categories. If your performance falls short of perfect, you see yourself as a total failure. If we were to zoom out, however, most of life is lived in the gray. So when it comes to our food choices and learning new eating skills, I think it's really important to work towards putting away this all or nothing mindset and start getting practice feeling comfortable in the gray. I've heard it put this way: training or learning nutrition skills is more like a dimmer switch than an on-off switch. So what does that mean? With an on-off switch, there are only two options, on or off. There is no in-between in terms of this new skill that we're learning in this video about whole foods. It would look like switching to all whole foods immediately. Maybe starting to raise your own chickens and grow all your own veggies. Maybe that's an extreme example. But when we think about a dimmer switch, the light can be on 100%, off completely, or anywhere in the middle. In terms of whole foods, maybe you're crunched for time and your go-to is to screw it and just go to Taco Bell. But what if you opt for a rotisserie chicken and salad mix at the grocery store on your way home instead? It may be just as fast, but it's a more nutritious option. Most of the time, you're going to be somewhere in the middle, but it doesn't have to be an all or nothing mindset. And even if you opt for the drive-thru sometimes, don't beat yourself up, especially if this has become something common in your life. Maybe you're someone who eats out frequently, but you're also trying to make some changes. That's why we're here. In order to not feel too overwhelmed, doesn't it feel more doable to just reduce your eating out from, say, 5 nights a week to maybe 3 nights a week? Or can we find some healthier options at the drive-thru? Lots of fast food places even serve more nutrition options than you may realize. Try it for yourself. Here are some tips for grocery shopping. Most grocery stores are designed where the whole foods are mostly found in the perimeter of the store, and the further you go in, the more processed the foods are for the most part. If you're trying to incorporate more produce specifically to your meals, it can take a bit of planning. One helpful thing is the fact that if you plan to eat more fruits and vegetables, you'll need to buy more of those things on your next grocery trip. So if we're going to use a dimmer switch, like with any of the skills I talk about in my videos, I want you to start where you are. Try to avoid the sabotaging thought of the all or nothing mindset. I like to think of this skill as slowly building up your intake of whole foods. This isn't about making any sort of drastic change, but slowly introducing new foods you haven't tried, or maybe a less processed version of a favorite of yours. It's about making one small change, getting used to it, and then making more small changes. Is there a vegetable or fruit specifically you've been wanting to try lately? Personally, I've been really getting into squash varieties because I think they're really versatile with meals. My favorite these days is spaghetti squash. Even my little nieces love it. We eat it with tomato sauce or a bit of garlic salt. It's so easy, and I like easy. It just needs to be cut in half, poke a few holes in it, bake it until fork tender, and you get spaghetti-like vegetables. I think it's really fun, and it appeals to my Italian roots. So, I have a few challenges for you that I'd like you to try. First, if you find that you're judging the moral character of your food this week, try reframing it and saying, this food may be more processed, but it's not evil, and then enjoy it. Next, can you try one new whole food this week? Or maybe just try one step closer to a whole food version of a current favorite of yours. Let me know which one you're gonna try in the comments below. If you'd like some help on getting started with this one, please reach out. You can always email me. If you found this video helpful, please like and share it with your friends. And for more eating skills videos, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.